You know, people ask me all the time, how is it that you create balance? They see my travel schedule, they see, what they call the success, and they say, well, how do you stay balanced? Well, let's be real. There is no balance whenever you're doing something that is major. If you're ever looking to accomplish something with your life that is bigger than anything you've ever done, there will be no balance. I see so many people find themselves in a path of what I call, I don't want to say failure, but of small accomplishments because they're trying to look for balance. Why? Because mommy told them they need balance. Pastor told them, hey, listen, you need to slow down. You need balance. And so people look at different areas of your life and say, well, what about your kids? Or what about your spouse? What about spiritual? What about personal time? And all of these things. Well, there's certain people that are destined to do things great that they've chosen to. I don't believe that they're just born and appointed. They choose to do something great. Maybe they don't understand how great it's going to be, but they choose that they're going to do something that's bigger than they've ever done before. And when you do that, there is no balance. And for a long time before, I fell into that trap of trying to say, well, let me balance this and balance that, and I wasn't achieving much. What I have found is this, and I know this may not come across politically correct. I believe that some of the happiest people in the world are people who do have balance, okay? Also, those people who do have balance that I see, I believe that if you take a look at a demographic, I believe when you take a look at people who are probably, somewhere between $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 a year, they've got their 2.3 kids, they've got their White House with the picket fence, they've got their 1.6 cars, he works a job, she takes care of the kids, and that's what their goal is, and I don't judge that. Everybody's not here and have goals of doing something big. I believe those people are some of the happiest people because they never miss little Johnny's football games. They never miss little Susie's dance rehearsal or recital because they're doing well in their prospective profession. And that's what their goal was, to raise children, to have them go out and be a productive element of society. Huge success of projects is not important to them, so they don't need to travel for business. Okay, so they're always going to be home. They can go to church every single Sunday if that's what they believe in. And so financially, they're probably not in a whole lot of debt. Maybe they live in some rural areas or whatever it may be, and the material things and possessions are not so important to them. And you know what? They're balanced. They're happy. I just personally believe that they probably won't be remembered by the world for doing anything. And that doesn't mean that they're bad people or that they are not productive. It just means that they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. And so my goal has not been to be balanced. My goal is to accomplish. And what I know is I travel a lot. I have a son, and he's a great athlete. He's a great musician. I haven't been at every single concert. I haven't been at every basketball game. I haven't been at every single practice. I haven't been at every football game when he was playing football. And sometimes it was a struggle. But what I had to do is I had to sit my wife down, I had to sit my son down when I was just launching, and I said, listen, for the next 6 months, I'm not going to be the best dad. I'm not going to be the best husband. You're not going to see me, Trey. I'm not going to be able to coach you this year. I used to be his football coach. I won't be able to coach you this year in football. And I'm not going to be around as much. And I told my wife, honey, listen, I'm going to be coming in late at night, probably 11 o'clock at night. I'll be traveling a lot. I'll be on the phone a lot. And I let them know that. But I asked them, what is it that you want in return for what you're giving up of daddy and your husband? And my son told me what he wanted. And he wanted to just go to San Diego and go to the beach. And they've got this nice flowboarding machine there, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted the flowboard unlimited. I couldn't tell him when to stop. He can bring whoever he wanted to bring, and that's what he wanted. And Earlene told me the things that she wanted, and now here we are. We now have a negotiation. They're giving up time, but they're getting something in return. So now what happened is when daddy was gone out building the business, Trey wasn't looking at me like, Dad, why are you gone? When I was out building the business, or if I was even at home not building the business, you know what Trey would say? Dad, don't you have somewhere to be? Okay? Why? Because he wanted to hit his goals, and I told him what our 6-month goal was. He wanted me to hit my goal so he can get what he wanted. And so if I came in early tonight from a meeting, Earlene would say, hey, listen, how'd that meeting go? Because she wanted it to go great. And so they got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. It wasn't balanced, but it worked for me. It worked for her. It worked for him. But when I think about the greats, when I think about people who've done something significant in life, when I think about, people like Oprah Winfrey, I'm sure she probably wanted to have kids, but because her career, she probably never had time to focus on them. She gave that up, but look at the impact that she's made. I think about certain athletes that have been heroes of mine and the time that they gave up with their kids. But people remember them. They changed the entire game. They changed and changed the world for so many people and been inspirations for so many kids. And they gave that time up. And I think of people in business. I was listening at Bill Gates, and I think his first 10 years, he never took a day off, never took a vacation, and worked every single day. But when you look at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and what they contribute, people will remember that. And so it doesn't mean that Bill Gates or Oprah Winfrey are better than, this family that lives in rural America that makes $75,000 a year that's never done anything major. It just means that their goals were different and their focus was different. But the greats gave up more, had less balance, but people will remember them long after they're gone. And so for me, I want to be remembered long after I'm here. I want the work and the sacrifice that I'm giving up now, I want it to mean something, and for my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-great-grandchildren to remember my name because of the time that I gave up and the money I gave up and the events that I gave up and all that I did give up to accomplish something great.